very interesting price dynamics. The Chiliz coin. I'm looking at the weekly chart, and what do we see? This is a huge triangle that started forming back in March 2022. So this was all a downward trend. But what's interesting is that in April, there was a breakout and consolidation above on the weekly chart, the resistance lines of the triangle. This means there is an incredibly massive potential for future growth. So when we take this entire technical pattern into careful consideration, the price clearly demonstrates a very strong possibility of a 500% increase, 520% to be more precise. And we see that this is exactly according to the triangle breakout pattern. And right here, the 88.6 Fibonacci resistance is also forming. That is, the coin could do a 5x in this bull cycle if it begins. And for now, it looks like the probability of this scenario playing out is getting higher and higher. What's also interesting is that I noticed something on mTracer. Let's take a look at Chiliz, the coin. Let's select it. We choose the ETH and CHZ network. Now I want to draw your attention to the price dynamics on the weekly chart. Look here, we can already see that since April, withdrawals from exchanges exceed deposits. In other words, we're already starting to see this kind of trend. If before it was more or less the opposite, since April we've been seeing a completely different trend. That is, the flow changes, the cash flow, yes, not to the exchange in order to sell the coin, but from the exchange for long-term storage of the coin. Because 500%, this is not an average term, but a long-term one, where we can see growth over the course of 3 months or 6 months. Yes, we see that the index shows us that there is strong distribution, but we should not only look at the index, but also consider the pattern of capital inflows and outflows from exchanges. Now let's also take a look at the monthly chart. There's an interesting pattern here as well. Look, since January, outflows have already been stronger than inflows to the exchange. The only exception was last month. Last month, yes, after the breakout, we saw a small correction, but I think this month is actually an outflow. The outflow of Chiliz coins from exchanges will far exceed the inflow. Therefore, based on the pattern, we see huge growth potential for this coin. We might see more movement, but I think this is the maximum program for this bull cycle. And right now, it is certainly worth counting more on growth. Moreover, I am already starting to receive a clear buy signal, which I will share in my private chat immediately after confirmation.